Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike with Door and Lock Tips. Tonight I have a grand unveiling. Now you've seen my stand, right? Well, you're going to see something maybe the lock community has never even seen before. I'm hoping anyway, this will blow your brains. It is not this stand, but it is this stand. Let me show you how cool this is. All metal, totally flexible arm. You can adjust it. It's for your pinning kits. I have a beautiful Schlage pinning kit. You can just set it right on top. It will not slide. It will not move. I can adjust it up or down. This is beautiful. Let me show you why. I've been looking for a stand for my pinning kits so that I can put a pinning mat underneath and do pinning on a small table. Let's get a closer look. I'm just so blown away by this pinning mat and pinning kit system. Look at this. I have a 15 by 15 table. Couldn't get a mat, any kind of mat, to really fit on this properly. This is brand new, Asa. And I was thinking, why can't I lift my pinning kit up? Why can't I lift it up? So I found this laptop stand with rubber feet, rubber pads all over it. It's made out of metal, super indestructible. Pinning lift. I can do all my pinning here now easily. And watch this. I can actually see into the pinning kit. I mean, this is ideal. You can look right down in. I have never been able to do that before. I'm thinking, why wouldn't anybody want to buy one of these things? I think I just discovered the untold story. Locksmiths all over the U.S., everywhere. This laptop stand can be had from Amazon. And look at how cool it is. I mean, it almost has a futuristic look. There's a couple of little barbs here that stick up, pinning kit in place. It's as good as any table. Now here's another pinning kit. Same size. They're all about the same size, all these pinning kits. Unless you get a super wedge. Yale, all of them are all this size. Look at how cool this is. You just open it up and you're ready to do your work. It won't fall off, guys. It's super stable. Now you're not driving around with this, but you are pinning up cylinders on a small table, maybe in your van. And look at this, is the standard lab pinning mat. It goes right underneath there. I couldn't do that before. I've got it made. It took me about 70 different crazy laptop stands. They make so many of them. But I needed something with a very thin piece of metal underneath, and not legs on each side, but a base, and not something that make my mat stick up. Look at how cool this is. So I can use that one. I can use this one because they all go underneath. This should blow your minds. I know there's a lot of diehards out there that have been pinning cylinders for years. And you say, oh, you can't really teach me anything about pinning cylinders. And you might be right. I can't really teach you anything about pinning cylinders. I might not be able to do that because you may have covered it all. But have you ever wondered, have you ever thought about it, that there might be a better way to set your table up so that you can pin cylinders easier? That's all, just a little easier. I know a lot of guys, they don't even set their pinning kits in front of them. They have little trays and they pick the pins out of them. I love them. I mean, seriously, I think they're fabulous. We have all kinds of trays out there as locksmiths go. And this is like 35 bucks. This is from Lab. This is COK Supply. They'll sell everything. And we have all these pinning mats. But our pinning kit. Our pinning kit, we want to set it up so that maybe it'll be more useful to us and to other people. You know, you're going to train somebody eventually how to pin up cylinders. Maybe one of your grandkids. And you say, hey, you know what? I saw this little item on Amazon. Amazon, guys. And it is for laptops. It is a stand for laptops. Now, I went through about 60, maybe 70 of these stands. This one is all metal. It's rubber feet on top and bottom. You can pull it out. I'm not going to do it. I like where it's at. But you can literally pull this out. It's quite hard. They set it up so that the tension, it does not move. It's made out of steel, so the metal is pretty thin here, but it won't bend or break. $19. It slides onto your pinning table, and it stays put. I mean, I've got it. I mean, I can't move it. So imagine your most valuable thing, your pinning kit. You don't want to dump it. You don't want to knock it over. And you say, I can't be bothered with this. I'm not buying it. 19 bucks, guys. Any pinning kit other than the big wedge or the big long ones. I mean, I've got a Corbin Russwin. That baby ain't going on here. I could have two of them, though. But look at this. Even the wedge from Lab. So Lab's got this pinning kit. It is on an angle, and I can change the pitch. So they already built it on an angle. I can change the pitch, and it's beautiful. I mean, I can't wait to start pinning. It's high, and I'm going to show you some of the reasons why I highly suggest you have a pinning kit that is elevated off your table. I usually put like another pinning kit underneath the pinning kit. You know, you could put a 2x4. You can put anything you want. You can even build a stand in your truck, but why do that? You're going to have to build an angled stand. Can't use it for anything else but a pinning kit. Don't you want to have your use of your van, your most valuable rolling machine? You want to have multi-use, don't you? Just buy this little stand. I'm going to put a link down in the description. It's going to blow your mind. $19. You can't go wrong. I did all the legwork for you, and I highly suggest it. Look at it. It's real thin, so your mats can fit underneath. And you may say, well, I don't have no problem with the pinning kit sitting on the table. Yes, you do. You do have a problem. You just don't know it yet. So any of your pinning kits will fit on this, just like so. You're not driving around with this, with your pinning kits on this, okay, in your van. No, you're not driving around with it. You're going to put these away where you normally put them, like in a special little spot in your van so they don't get all tossed around. This is just when you're setting still and you're pinning up your cylinders. It's really no more than that. It's $19 worth of heaven. And I just got out a few of my many pinning kits, and all of them fit nicely. I'm loving it, guys. I'm loving it. Look at this. I can see everything. I can look down in. I can even angle this more, but I kind of like the way I've got it right now. I like the angle. I'm loving this thing. Goosebumps thinking about how cool this is, because I've been doing this quite a long time and never ran across anything. I wasn't thinking about it until I had such tight space in my work van. And I thought, what am I going to do? I can't really put a mat in front of my pinning kit because there's no room. I want to make sure all this gets back in without destroying anything. I didn't have any room in front of my pinning kit. my table out there is only 15 by 15 square, so I needed something to elevate it. We could call this a normal setup, couldn't we? Basically, a pinning kit would be in the center. You've got your mat. You've got some kind of pinning tray where you put all the pins in from your pinning kit. And then you've got a pinning block. So this is kind of a normal setup, right? Well, let me show you the situation that exists when you do it this way. If you pull this out, my table now has to be elongated by almost 6 inches because the pinning tray wants to fall off. So I'd have to push it forward, and so everything goes that way. But if I put it back the way I had it, I put the pinning mat up on here somewhere, it doesn't really matter. I put my pin kit right there. Open up my pin kit. And I don't want to dump anything, you know, because I'm going to have to pay the price if I do. Now look, I can move things around. My pin kit doesn't have to move. I'm not going to tip it over. If I push my mat, I'm not going to push it to the table because it's stuck. And so these rubbers are so strong, they don't allow you to really move anything. They don't want you to lose your laptop. Let's put it that way. They never thought this far about having a pinning kit on top. Now let's try another one. So there was a pretty big mat. Now this is the biggest mat I have right here, this lab. And I don't care if I bump into this, I'm not going to knock my pinning kit off. So I just put this here, but you may say, oh, well, I want this way up here. Well, that's cool, but you may want to be right here. I don't care how you set it up, honestly, but you're high enough where everything can slide either underneath, and you're not going to tip it over. You don't have to be scared about that. It does flex, but that's all right. You're not driving around with it. So there's one setup. And that is really a cool setup. Now watch this. We're going to close this lid on this gorgeous pinning kit. I've done so much work for Yale. I might as well be hired by Yale. And we had the best pinning kit up here. And I say best, it's, you know, best brand cylinders. And that's on the an angle already. So this works out really great for an angled pin kit. And let's put in another mat. Let's put in a short mat. I kind of like short mats. I haven't been able to use them because I'm so tight on space. So there I have it. I could have 2 mats. I could have one way underneath here in case I drop some pins, and I could have another mat in front. When could you have done this unless your pinning kit was elevated? This is so cool, guys. I'm loving it. I'm not even worried about tipping it over. There were some people in the comment section saying, you know, oh boy, they're going to have to see it to believe it. Well, I think you're going to believe it. I will never convince 100% of you, but that's okay. You can pin all you want, however you want. I think this is so revolutionary. I just got to show you guys. Olympus, love Olympus. One of the best little pinning kits available for Olympus. I love it. I mean, I absolutely love Olympus. And in tight quarters, you're going to be doing a lot of cabinet stuff, right? Cabinet locks, pinning mat, and a pinning tray. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice setup. Now let's try another mat. Let's try Old Faithful Lab. This is my first mat I ever owned. There we have it. Nice setup. Gorgeous. Let's close this Olympus wonderfulness out so I don't dump anything, because that type of blooper I don't think any you want to see, but you might. I was thinking about someday. Who knows? There we have the Olympus. Now Schlage. Now notice I can't watch. It's closed. I'm hitting on it. I can't move it. I'm hitting on it. So cool. There we are. Now if I hit on it now, you know, the pins could rattle around, but wow, is this cool or what? I'm loving it. So that's a nice little setup. I'd say acceptable, wouldn't you? Acceptable setup. All right, now let's put up our brand new commercial. Now this ain't cheap. Commercial Schlage. I have a lot more pinning kits, but don't want to bring them all out here. This is a nice little setup. Now let's put in Sparrow. You all know Sparrow. Sparrow's one of the name brand lock picking worlds. Super high end, good stuff. We got our little Sparrow mat, and notice no distortion by being up on the platter. You can put it anywhere you want. You can't knock this pinning kit off. Now I could flip it over, I guess, but who's going to do that? Oh, and it's heavy metal, by the way, so it doesn't even want to flip over. I may just pin like that. I may pin like this. I've never had an opportunity to really have fun like this. This is quite enjoyable. So there we have it, guys. All from Amazon. It's a laptop stand turned into a pinning kit rising table. I love it. Thank you guys for subscribing. Please tell your friends, and I'll have more door and lock tips like this coming to you in the future. Thanks again. There we have it, guys. Another show from Door and Lock Tips. I am so glad I could show you this neat tool I found on Amazon. I want to tell you, if you pass this bad boy up, you just don't know what you're missing. It's only 19 bucks. This is not a sales for this company. I have nothing to do with them. They didn't call me. They didn't say, hey, could you show this on your YouTube channel? Nope. I'm showing it because I love it. It's going to help me out, and it'll help you guys out. Please hit the subscribe, the like button, tell your friends, and I'll have more wonderful door and lock tips like this coming to you in the future. Thanks again.